Good morning. We are doing a behind the story. Let me get my teleprompter decided it did not like me yesterday, so I am just pulling up. I have everything moved further forward, so I'm a little bit closer to the camera now. I don't know what happened to it. I don't know. It had the text, because I have to convert my PDFs to a Word doc for it to work. And the text was like overlapping, so I would have like the one paragraph and then the other paragraph, but it would be like the words would be all on top of each other, so I couldn't read it. Anyways, that's not important. The moral to that is I cannot teleprompter and the text is smaller, so I have to bring it closer. Okay. Welcome to Bite at a Time Books, Behind the Story, where we answer the questions you have about your favorite classic authors. What inspired your favorite author to write their novels? What was going on in the world at the time? Follow along with us as we tell you what was happening in the world while your favorite authors wrote your favorite classics. My name is Bree Carlisle, and I love to read and wanted to share my passion with listeners like you. If you enjoy our show, be sure to follow us so you get all the new episodes. If you want to see exclusive behind the scenes of our show, join our Patreon. We would also love for you to drop us a rating on your favorite podcast platform and share our show with your friends. You can catch us on all the social medias at Bite at a Time Books. Our show is part of the Bite at a Time Books Productions Network. If you ever... If you would also like to check... Sometimes this happens. Okay. If you would also like to hear a story by the author we are currently featuring, check out the Bite at a Time Books podcast, wherever you listen to podcasts. Right now we are reading The Three Musketeers. Today we will be talking about Auguste Marquet.
Reading The Three Musketeers.
Today we'll be talking about Auguste Marquet.
Reading The Three Musketeers.
Today we'll be talking about Auguste Marquet, who co-wrote The Three Musketeers. Scroll up a little, it's probably not going to stay in place. Okay. Now this is smaller text.
The Three Musketeers.
Auguste Marquet, September 13th, 1813 to January 8th, 1888, was a French author best known as the chief collaborator of French novelist Alexandre Dumas Pierre, co-writing such works as The Count of Monte Cristo and The Three Musketeers. Marquet was born in Paris in 1813. He studied at the Lycée Charlemagne, where he became a professor at the age of 18. Trained as a historian, he turned to literature and became close with such literary figures as Théophile Gautier and Gerard de Nerval. Through Nerval, he became acquainted with the already famous Dumas in 1838. Gerard de Nerval introduced Marquet to Dumas and asked the famous author to rewrite a play of Marquet's and publish it under his own name. Dumas was then given a manuscript by Marquet, which Dumas went on to publish under his own name as Le Chevalier de Harmentel. The two started writing historical romances together, with Marquet outlining the plot and characters in draft form, and Dumas adding colorful dialogue and details. At the insistence of, and upon payment by the publisher, Marquet's name was left off the title page. The collaboration with Dumas ended in 1851. Marquet had earlier sued Dumas, demanding co-authorship and royalties, but the court found in favor of Dumas on the grounds that Dumas without Marquet would have been Dumas. What would Marquet have been without Dumas? Marquet went on to produce a large solo body of work, historical romances, plays, and an opera libretto. In 1861, he became an officer of the Légion d'honneur. Marquet died comfortably well off. He is buried in Père Lachaise Cemetery in Paris. His brother Charles and Hector Marquet were the founders of the luxury stationery manufacturer Maison Marquet. I'm pretty sure it's Marquet. Whatever.
Manufacturer Maison Marquet.
Many devotees of Dumas claim that Marquet was merely a dog's body whose capacity for hard work was his greatest talent. Others, such as French Dumas expert Claude Chope, have claimed that Marquet was the real Fourth Musketeer, responsible for the plots of the D'Artagnan romances. Author Bernard Filaire says, "There is a tendency to dismiss Marquet as a drudge, and that's just wrong. Of course he wasn't a Balzac or a Dickens, but he definitely had talent." Marquet was Marquet was portrayed by Belgian actor Benoit Poilievre in L'Autre Dumas, The Other Dumas, 2010. With Dumas, he wrote,
Other Dumas, 2010.
Marquet collaborated with Dumas on 18 novels and many plays, including Le Chevalier de Harmentel. Marquet's outline was called Bonhomme Bouvat. Sylvain Dyer, 1843, based on Les Mémoires de Madame la Marquise de Fresnay by Gatien de Coilitz de Sandras. La Fille du Regent. The Three Musketeers. The Count of Monte Cristo. 20 years after. La Guerre des Femmes. Queen Margot. La Chevalier de Maison Rouge. La Dame des Moncereau. Les Comtesses 5. The Bâtard du Malion. Excuse me.
The Bâtard du Malion.
Les Mémoires d'un Médecin Joseph Balsamo. Le Vicomte de Bragelonne. The Queen's Necklace. The Black Tulip. Olympe de Clevis. Ange Pitot. Injuine. Behilde. And Queen Margot. Novels he wrote on his own include De La Fontaine compare comme faiblesse et escope et a Phèdre, 1832, Le Beau de Hengist, 1843, Deux Trahisons, 1844, History de la Bastille, 1844, Le Comte de Laverny, 1852, La Chute de Satan, 1854, La Belle Gabrielle, 1854 to 1855, De Des de Coster, 1857, La Maison du Bagneur, 1857, La Rose Blanche, 1858, Les Nevers et Android, Episode de la fin du règne de Louis XIV, 1858, Les Vertes Foiles, 1862, Paris sous Louis XIV, Monuments et Vous, 1883. My French is non-existent.
Et Vous, 1883.
He also wrote some plays. Le Château de Grantier, 1852, Les Comtes de Laverny, 1854, La Belle Gabrielle, 1857, De Des de Coeur, 1859, La Maison du Bagneur, 1864, Les Hussards de Bercheny, 1865, Valeria, 1851, with Jules Lacroix, La Fronde, 1853, with Jules Lacroix and music by Louis Niedermeyer, La Chambre Rouge, 1852, with Theodore Anne, La Enfant du Regiment, 1854, with Theodore Anne. That is the end of his biography. Close that out. Hey, it actually did keep it where it was, but it blew it up more.
4 with Theodore Ann.
Thank you for joining Bite at a Time Books Behind the Story today, while we answered some of the questions you have about one of your favorite classic authors. If you enjoy our show, be sure to follow us so you get all the new episodes. If you want to see exclusive behind the scenes of our show, join our Patreon. We would also love for you to drop us a rating on your favorite podcast platform and share our show with your friends. You can catch us on all the social medias at Bite at a Time Books. Also, be sure to check us on our website, www.biteatatimebooksbehindthestory.com. Our show is part of the Bite at a Time Books Productions Network. If you would also like to hear a story by the author we are currently featuring, check out the Bite at a Time Books podcast wherever you listen to podcasts. Right now we are reading The Three Musketeers. Again, my name is Bree Carlisle, and I hope you come back next week when we answer more questions about one of your favorite classic authors. Save. All right, so that was a short and sweet one today. We've got a longer one coming up, I'm sure. I'm going to knock out a Bite at a Time Books since that was so short because it's like 8 o'clock. I got an hour, so thanks, guys.